Good morning, YouTube America. Isn't it strange how, when you start to explore your options around you, you find yourself feeling distorted and looking out of sorts, so to speak? And there's a lot of options here on my camera recorder and for backgrounds and so have you. And, I don't know. It's just a sort of thing that just kind of makes you wonder, what's the point of having this sort of enhanced media option? Because I've seen a lot of YouTube videos here in the past 5 months, 6 months since I was able to get on board with this stuff, and I ain't ever seen any of this stuff being used. There's must be a good reason for it. It just seems strange. But that's how life is. Life can be strange, and one moment you're bumbling along trying to survive and do the things you need to do, and the next moment, you know, you're looking at a contract for a game deal that you never envisioned would ever happen. Yeah, that's me, folks. 2 days ago, well, last month I ran a Kickstarter campaign. I've got a few videos floating around on my YouTube channel that was talking about it, and I was asking for a small amount of money to get the legal stuff needed to get my books vetted so I could get them out there on eBay or Amazon or something just to get them started being provided to the public so they'll be out there. It's not about the money, although I won't lie and say that money is part of the deal. You do want some money out of a deal, you know. Negotiating percentages, the percentage negotiations seem awful small. At the same time, I have read lots of material over the years from Writer's Digest on the subject. Your favorite author's book might sell for $25 a copy, but they're only making a buck or two off that sell, and that's the truth. The corporations that sponsor them, that support them, that do all the publishing, all that stuff, the lion's share of that money, that's where it goes. It goes to pay the people who printed the books, who edited, to produce, mass produce the product and sell it to the customer. The customers get their, or the store gets a cut of it. I mean, surely you don't think that they're getting 20, your favorite author's getting $20 out of a $28 book, because it doesn't work out that way. And where they make their money is like everybody else, in volume. So you sell 1 million copies and you get a 10% royalty of that. Well, that's $100,000. There's a reason why most of those writers are not multimillionaires and are searching for the next great book. So the more books you can get out, the better off you are, because the more money you bring in for yourself, that'll, at some point you can self-sustain yourself and with your writing abilities, and focus on writing exclusively. Because that's another reason why that certain writers in the various genres are cranking out two, three books a year, is because they concentrate on uh, that they don't have to hold down a second job or a primary job. And then there's, of course, a few that are so adept at what they do. Uh, Kuhn's own book on how to write explains how his process is. Kuntz doesn't do rewrites. He doesn't do second drafts. He writes out basically a rough draft of his book and then hands it over to a team of flunkies who fluff it out, fill it out, following the formula that he's established in his style of writing, which is pretty standard. If you read one Kuntz book, you've read pretty much all of them. Sorry, but that's how come you've got so many. I'm sure Mr. Kuntz would say otherwise, but don't lie, sir. You put it right. The formula is right there in your own book on how to write books. I read it. I read it. That being said, like I said, I got a contract from a company called Golden Bell Enterprises. Their game division is Golden Games, and it's only been in business about 6 months, so it's new. And I've looked at their product. They actually have quite a bit of stuff out for that 6 month period. I don't know if they must be shooting for volume too. And it's understandable, they're in the business to make money. Who isn't, right? But surprise, surprise to me, your lonely homeless fat man here, that one of their people was following my short-lived Kickstarter campaign. I had about 8 supporters. I generated half of the $500 revenue, and it wasn't sufficient. And that, it is what it is. And then part was because I'd never done a Kickstarter before. I didn't know what to do, and if I had a chance to go back and do it again, I would, start out with a lot more base material on what the game is about, and go from there because it's a learning curve. But like I said, I'm sitting here with a contract in my email right now. I looked at it last night. Had my family vet it. I don't have the finances right now to go hire a lawyer, which everybody tells me I should do. Uh, we negotiated last night through the email for a percentage. Of course, this is based off of the book sellings, and it's not a book; it's multiple books. So I would get the same percentage on every book sale. At least that's my understanding of it. Before I actually sign this thing, I'm going to have that, those questions answered. I believe what this company is offering is everything I don't have. The legal department to get all this stuff trademarked, get it copyrighted, to get the ISBN numbers, all this other stuff. Editors, people to help me take this product from its final draft stage to an actual marketable product, artwork, the whole thing, and that's huge. It's huge. And I'm not gonna lie and say it's a bit overwhelming. I don't know. You know, I just don't know if I'm making a good decision or not. I know that you can hesitate too long, and you can never get that offer again. I recently, a couple of months back, I think I told everybody, I said I had a job offer for a company called Cosinen, and it was a decent entry level job. With my background and my experience, I was hesitant to take the job because I'm not used to working in a suit and tie environment. It's not that I'm not capable of doing it. It's just I don't know. And I also felt I had given my word to my current employer to work for a certain amount of time, and I owed that to them because they gave me an opportunity. Uh, so I chose not to go to work for those people. And since then, I've come to regret that a number of times, especially since this hard luck company that I work, this hard luck outfit that I work for, is always in a bind. It's always having problems. They cannot keep good help. They can't even keep bad help, and it's in part because the company themselves are so hungry. The owners are so hungry for more money that they work people to death. They don't take into account that you can't work people, you know, back to back to back to back, week after week after week, and not have something snap. You can't work, not in this day and age. It's not right to work 7, 8 hours during the morning and then come back 5 hours later or 7 hours later and work another 9 hours and do that over and over and over. Oh, sure, you add up the hours, but you have no life. You don't have any time for your family, your people, yourself. You can't have a set schedule. You can't have movie night. You can't make plans until you get your schedule for the week, and even then you have to be careful because I'm in a bind. I'm in a bind. Somebody doesn't show up. Somebody quit. You got to put your foot down. And does that hurt you in the long run? I don't know. I know that with this deal that I'm looking at on the table for my games and stuff, uh, potential novels that I have, it's a huge thing, and it's more important to me than this job that I have. And while I need the job for the income, getting these books out is big and huge. And Alonso said it's not about the money; it's about legacy. I spent a long time in my life being just existing and living for myself and for the moment, and I didn't do the things I should have done when I was younger. And then I made some terrible mistakes, and it led to a horrific mistake that put me away for a long time. And it was during that time that I woke up, I sobered up, I became, drug free, and my mindset turned to where it should have been 30, 40 years ago. And I realized that life's short. It's a lot shorter than you think it is, my friend. And we need to make every day matter as best we can. And that includes trying to figure out a way to leave something, leave a footprint behind that's worthy of our greater family and our descendants. If I didn't do right by my children, I have to do right by my grandchildren somehow. And that's what legacy is about to me. It's showing that I wasn't a worthless number in an endless bucket of humanity. So my games get published. I get a little bit of money. More importantly, they get out there to the public and they're there forever. My name's out there forever. Oh, irony of irony, it won't be my real name because I'm going to use my pen name, my grandparents' last name, and because of legality issues for myself, and mostly because my name's worthless. It's mud. But hey, we're not talking about me now, are we? Well, I guess we are. All right. Okay. Sorry about that. Like I said, it's not often everybody people get offered a deal of this nature, and it's a full package deal. And I feel like I'm over my head, and yet, you know, it's only me that can make that decision, and I'm sure I'll make this decision, and I'm going to sign this contract at the percentage we agreed on last night. And I will have family members, and I will have strangers who will think I was nuts for taking such a low deal, such a low percentage. And yet, it's not that low. It's not. It's a little below the standard of an established author, but I'm not established. See, there's the key, right? I'm not established, and these people seem legit. They feel legit, and there's also a golden. I know it's a golden opportunity, right? That's ironic. A golden opportunity here with a company that's this new to get in on the ground floor with them to find there's other avenues and venues. I have a lot of material that I never had time to really fully develop, and this would be opportunities to do so. Plus, I could find myself my strange, well, I say that my strange well of knowledge when it comes to games and role playing, old school gaming, role playing, tabletop war games. Uh, it's experience that you can't really find a lot of outlets for, but through this company in their business plan, I could be able to assist other people to bring their dreams to fruition, and that would be an awesome thing because it's a good thing. It's good karma, I think. Well, I only get one or two viewers on my blogs, and that's okay. This, I guess, is mostly for posterity too, because they say once you put something out on the internet, it's there forever as well. And I just wanted you to know that this guy, this homeless fat guy, this former convict, I guess, current convict, former inmate, spent all his time in prison creating something, trying to do something productive with his time, and here we are looking at you know the next stage. It's an awesome thing, my friend. An awesome thing. Wish you a good day.